one in no Oshie Corner, I'm afraid. We're just south of Stow-on-the-Wold, having just gone past the Merrymouth Inn, on the road to Burford, and then hopefully through Swindon and down through Savernake Forest to end up somewhere in the New Forest. A little bit busy as we go through Burford, but it ain't too bad. Coming up on the right there is the burger van that's very highly rated by a lot of people. Must admit I have stopped there a couple of times in the past, and yeah, it's a good one. A little bit of a hold up at Litchlade, where we cross the River Thames. And there was quite a queue the other side, waiting to get over that bridge. Maybe I won't be coming back this way. On the outskirts of Swindon, and what up until 2021 used to be the Honda factory. Been there for 36 years apparently. Now it looks like it's being an Amazon fulfillment centre, or as we know it, a warehouse. And it's on to the A419 for a bit. And down into Marlborough. Well, that's the first 100 miles covered. I still fancy doing a few more though, so let's carry on. And through Savernake Forest, which apparently is one of England's oldest forests. And coming up on the right is Cadeley Garage, which has a couple of pre-digital fuel pumps. There you go. And just down the road on the left hand side is a big belly oak. There it is. One of 50 named trees throughout the British Isles. Right, we're now in the New Forest, so it'll be keep an eye out for critters, because there's all manner of strange beasts wandering on the road in these parts. Ah, some New Forest donkeys, there you go. Taking no notice of the traffic whatsoever. And there's one happily wandering down the middle of the road, not fazed by the trike at all. Go on, take your time, I'm in no rush. Right, whatever next? Ah, this time it's pigs. Oh well, ever onward. Oh, and another couple of donkeys, just for good measure. Yep, more donkeys. This time it's goats, by the look of it. Strange, not seen any New Forest ponies yet, but we're not out of the forest yet. Well, just leaving the forest now, and it seems there are no New Forest ponies. There you go. Right, that's it. We're out of the New Forest. Yes, we'll be back in there a bit later on though. I used to love riding down this road in the days when we did the Kurt Gallibagger rally on the Isle of Wight. But this time we're turning off and heading back into the New Forest. We're now on a single track road with passing places. One driver's calling me on. Cheers, driver. A little bit of faster stuff along the A35 for a while. Well, how about that? A New Forest pony at last. Well, here we are at Sammy Miller's Museum, and would you look at that, a row of pre-digital fuel pumps. How fortunate is that? Looks like it's stop and take a photograph time. Well, there's just under 160 mile on the clock so far, so still plenty more to do. Right, it's off in the general direction of Southampton. The traffic was a bit of a nightmare in Lyndhurst, but there again, that always used to be the hold up when we was going down the Isle of Wight, so we're through it in a few minutes and the sun's out. And it's on to the M3 for a short while. Right, the first petrol stop. It's 180 miles on the clock. We've got 20.26 litres in, which is 4.45 gallon. So the TCT is doing 40 miles to the gallon, which for an old air-cooled 1600 lump ain't too bad at all. I can live with that. Roadworks slowed everything down. I bet it was a good 20 minutes getting through this lot. This place on the right is what I'm looking for. Redford Garage. So I think the best thing to do is turn around. Luckily, not a lot of traffic in this part of the world. And let's see if we can park up and grab a photograph. A quick walk to the other side of the road with a camera in hand. And away we go, one photograph. There's just over 220 miles on the clock now, and as I've said, still plenty more to go. It is rather dark beneath these trees. There again, we're back in the sunshine in a minute. I have to admit, it's a very scenic part of the world. And once again into a dark tunnel under the trees. Back in 2016, the BSA Bantam Club had a run out to this pub. Here we are back in 2016, and I never noticed it back then, but on the left there is the very fuel pump I'm looking for. And a little bit further up the road is the Royal Oak. Right, back to today, and I reckon I can just about squeeze in there. Won't be the best photograph, but it's close enough. Right, it's now early evening. There's some 250 odd miles on the clock. I'd best start heading back home, but which way? I don't know yet. I'll work it out as I go along. I spotted a McDonald's sign and thought, well, I don't mind a bit of junk food a couple of times a year, and so I'll have a ride round and have a look at the car parking. But would you believe it? This is the queue for the McDonald's drive-through, and it went right down the side to the main road, and once you got to the main road they were still queuing as far as the traffic lights. So you know what, let's not bother. I was rather hoping for a decent sunset, but wasn't to be. Just the odd glimpse of the sun through the trees, and that was about as good as it got. Well, it's certainly dark now, and although the main beam seemed to work all right, I was not very impressed with the dip. To me it didn't seem bright enough to light the road up. Now I'm sure I've got a spare LED bulb somewhere. I'll put that in and give it a try. But no, that dip to me isn't really good enough. You can see there that the main beam certainly lights the road up in front well enough. Yep, dip not quite so good. No, I'm not really impressed with that. And it's through Banbury we go. I decided the last 40 or 50 miles I'd do on the motorway. It's getting late and we just want to get home a bit quicker, and besides I've been sat on this thing now for over 10 hours. Certainly proves the seats are comfy enough, but I will be glad to get off. And we leave the M5 at junction 1. Soon be home now. And as we approach Oship Corner, it's been a good day out. 443 miles on the clock. The weather's been excellent, and I really did enjoy the ride down through the New Forest and Savernake. The coming back was a bit of a drag, but it's been a long day. It's now about midnight. So I think the best thing I can do is call it a day. See you later.